What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing very well. My name is Hussein. Welcome to the channel. Woke and Lit. All right. Today we got a guest here.
Vast.
We got my guest here, Vast here, and today we're gonna be talking about two hot topics. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about something called age of consent.
Yeah.
What that's all about. And lastly, we got politics. Right. Under that politics, we're gonna be talking about specifically, outside of the U.S. and all the war. Right. Is that
A lot of
What's up?
foreign affairs.
foreign affairs?
Yeah.
All right. So with that all said, let us begin. Recently,
Yep.
there seems to be an uptick with influencers just going after minors, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? Why is that? What's going on with that? What's going on with that, bro? What's up?
Well, yeah, it looks bad, and it is bad.
Yeah,
But
influence of all the people. What's up? Yeah.
because what they're doing is, if you want to call it a pedophile,
Basically,
yes, they're pedophiles.
Yeah.
And you should call them as what they are.
Yeah.
But like in reality, let's go to it.
Okay.
Like let's
Digging
say
deep.
if somebody's like 20,
Okay.
and they're talking with somebody that's 17.
Oh shit.
In most states, the age of consent is 16.
Okay.
If you got the consent of the parent,
Yeah.
the consent of the individual you're talking to,
Yeah.
and all the parties are satisfied
Yeah.
with the relationship,
Yeah.
what is the issue? Because we do know adults that's basically married to somebody that's older than them by like 5 years.
You're
That's
talking about the
wrong.
case where the high school sweethearts type thingy.
Nah, yes, in some ways, especially like let's
They're
say
both
it's,
underage, and because one was older, and then now
Yeah.
the other one is
it's an
you
adult
know.
now.
adult, and the other one's 17 and 18. Like,
Yeah, but the internet will tell you they can't continue that relationship. But why not?
interesting.
What was different back then? Just because somebody just turned 18
Yeah.
and the other person's still underage.
Yeah. Despite that, there's still that age of consent within the guardians
Of
and stuff
course.
like that.
If somebody,
But I think most people, whenever they see the age discrepancy, that one of the party is under 18, is the whole idea of getting other parties such as the guardians and all that stuff, that they keep the consent, that no one really thinks about it. It's like, oh shit, the person's under 18, da da da.
Yep.
You're the P word, as they say, da da da, right?
Yep.
Ah,
But let's say
okay.
the internet life is very different
Yeah.
than like let's say normal life.
I gotta pause you real quick. This is actually the first time actually thinking like that. Right?
What?
I actually didn't even think about the idea of like age of consent being 16, blah blah blah. I always had it in mind as a person got to be 18 and above.
The age of but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like let's say if somebody 25,
Like no one really thinks about.
let's
I
be
never-
realistic. Let's be realistic.
What's
If
up?
somebody is 25
Yeah.
and they're dating a 17, 16-year-old, I see something wrong with that. But if somebody is 20, 21
Yeah.
and they're dating a 17-year-old
Yeah.
who's most likely going to be turning 18 the next year,
Yeah.
and they probably have been dating for a while,
Yeah.
there's not too much of an age difference. As long as the consent parties are all
Involved.
involved and are happy with the situation.
Interesting.
But like in terms of the internet,
Yeah.
the current situation, you have adults
Yeah.
who are talking to their fans.
Yeah.
It's totally different ballgame. Because you could easily abuse them. They
That's true.
look up to you.
Yeah. Power there.
Yeah, there's a huge power there. But like I said, if you're in the same age range,
Yeah.
you should not be demonized for it. But if you have alternative, like if you have different ways of viewing that relationship
Mm.
and you don't get the consent, and maybe you using your influence, like let's say, for example, if you're an influencer,
Yeah.
yeah, it's totally wrong in many ways.
See. So I'm gonna go ahead and summarize what we just learned here from Vast here. All right. Age of consent is pretty important, right? As long as all parties are involved, doesn't matter the age.
Yep.
As long as some level the age is within the group area, not two, whatever.
Yeah.
However, that all changes. However, is one of the party has a power, such as such as an influencer and a fan, right? That's when it's like, whoa, So that's the overall conclusion.
No, I'm saying at that point,
What's up?
what are you looking at children for?
Basically,
You have influence and power
yeah.
to get somebody in your age range.
How about this then? Let's say this person's an influencer, right? They're both above 18.
Yeah.
Does that change anything?
No, they're both adults.
They're both adults.
Yeah. But if you're not an adult,
yeah,
and you see somebody who has power,
yeah,
you might view that person very differently. Like if you're an adult, you might still look at it differently, but like it doesn't feel wrong because it just feels wrong if you're not adult, and somebody might be like, you know, it feels like taking advantage of in many ways.
Basically.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and transition now. Okay, so how did things lead to the recent uptick with the whole war between Israel and Palestine?
It's always been like this.
It's always been like that, but suddenly, of course, just the past 2 years, it's just been extremely escalated than ever before. It appears to be like that, at least in the media.
Because Gaza is basically a concentration camp.
What's that?
A concentration camp. That's what Gaza is. And the people in there can do anything. Basically, they don't have any freedom. They're in a caged city, if you want to call it, where the living, experience is very bad. And like any sort of group, if you're being oppressed, you're gonna want to stand up for your people. So that's exactly what happened. But since they basically control the medium, they portrayed a whole different image. Even though they killed their own people, the most of the civilians that died was caused by Israel.
Yeah.
It's not that Hamas went out and basically killed civilians. They did not. But some of the civilians in Israel are part of the military. So anybody who's part of the military had a target on their back. But the children that they said, they basically burned children alive, never happened. There was no records of it. If there was, trust me, it would be all over the media.
Is it true that recently Israel leader came over to U.S.?
Yep,
into the White House?
I wouldn't say the White House. Maybe he did, but like he came to the House of Congress.
Okay.
And pretty much all the American politicians who were there, attendance, they're in the pockets of the Israeli group, basically the APEC, they call. And they have to show up because that's their employer. Even though they work for the people in America, they represent. So basically, Congress is supposed to represent the people.
That's right.
But they don't represent the people, they represent their pockets.
Damn.
Since sponsorship is allowed in the American government and a foreign government can come in, basically pay them a certain amount of money to buy their votes. He came in basically to get the assurance that if he attacks anybody, they will have the American fullback support. Which, from the looks of it, they do. And he succeeded on that part because...
Shortly after that meeting, what did he do?
Shortly after that meeting, he basically assassinated 2 high-level leaders of Hezbollah and Hamas leader. And the Hamas leader was the one who was actually negotiating with them for the peace deal. So it just shows they don't seek peace.
Just like that. We're done with the podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate you for joining me.
Not a problem.
that was very interesting, I gotta say.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.